Well, the Paramount Skydance merger is complete, and so South Park dropped its episode at the same time. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so, because they took a week off between episodes. Even though there was nothing really like topical or new about this, this is something that could have been made anytime over the last couple of years. They weren't really putting in some current references or really working hard on that level to make sure it's up to date. And so they came out with their new episode, which actually managed to be less funny than the first episode of the season. This is pretty wild. We're going to talk about what's going on in today's South Park and everything in the culture war here right now. I think these guys sold out. They kept saying, the theme of this episode is got to get our nut, got to get that nut, got to get that nut. And I think they did that. I think they sold and got their $1.5 billion nut from Paramount. And then they just decided to just play it safe and act like everybody else and just tell the same recycled jokes over and over and over again and just kill everything that was ever unique about South Park to begin with. Very, very sad on this level, but this is what we have today. So please hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about all things in the culture, my friends. I run a pop culture news website. It's called Fandom Pulse, and that's at fandompulse.com. It's a Substack, and I really love this platform. It's free speech. I don't have to deal with any advertising things. I can be completely unfiltered here as I tell the truth about what's going on with, of course, the agenda that's still way out there in Hollywood. A lot of people have changed their YouTube channels and everything at this point, trying to get around the algorithm suppression that's going on, if you don't know about that. But anything anti-establishment at this point is getting suppressed on this platform. So I urge you to come over here. Very, very important to sign up. It's in the description below, guys, and that way I can stay in touch with you, and I can provide you the news that's happening today. And I've got a great team working with me, where you see we've already got 4 articles this morning out. I haven't written one on South Park yet. I probably will a little bit later, but this is the place to be. Thank you guys for being here, and I appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below. I don't do much video content over there, but we're talking about maybe doing that. Like, would that incentivize you to be there more? I'd love to hear from you on that. I like getting feedback from people, and that's what South Park should be doing. This is something I'm a fiction writer too. You got to get feedback from your audience and understand what your audience is about and like where they're at, and then try to work on something like that, especially when you have an IP like South Park. And this is exactly what they seem to not do or not be aware of. Maybe they're aware of it and they're just playing the game just to, for political points. I don't know what their thoughts are at this juncture. But yes, this episode was all about Charlie Kirk and Joe Rogan and Alex Jones and Kristi Noem and Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Again, it's the same thing over and over and over again. Now, this is interesting. This was pointed out today. If you want to know why South Park never took swings at the Joe Biden the way that they're doing at President Trump, which, very obvious that they, that was an obvious one where you could have done a whole Walking Dead parody with President Joe Biden that they missed, right? The show's lawyer also happens to be the guy who funded Hunter Biden's legal defenses. So there's a lot of like a little incestual inbreeding here that goes on in Hollywood and the like, and this is just what they do, right? And then I'm seeing it, they take shots at both sides. They really don't. And if you watch the last several years, they did not attack Joe Biden anywhere on this level whatsoever. The guy was, obviously senile and asleep at the wheel for several years, and it got caught with it. They didn't say anything. They kept their lips shut. And why did they do that? Because, I don't know, for all the claims of censorship that they say is going on at Paramount and that the Trump administration's doing, clearly they have absolutely no fear over it whatsoever. And they definitely did fear it with Joe Biden. And that just goes to show how the left is really just authoritarian and evil as much as they claim that the right is. That's exactly what they are. It's always projection with these people every single time. So it opens up. Cartman's mad that Clyde is stealing his shtick and actually going around debating, people. It's Charlie Kirk. And, the debates are just the generic, like, anti-conservative talking points from you're just manipulated by the Jews. Next. And it of course, just presents conservatives as stupid. Which is the entire purpose of it. Moreover, there's an anti-Christian message that's been permeating throughout this entire season, which is just, again, the same thing. They have Jesus Christ in the schools. They fire the school counselor, saying that they've got the only counselor they need is Jesus. And they call the principal, who used to be PC principal, who was a woke activist who just was regurgitating woke talking points, is now power Christian principal. And what they're trying to do is say that the Christians are just as annoying as those woke people. And it's really just offensive, of course. And of course, they try to offend people. That is part of South Park's shtick. But the problem is, like, this is so nakedly just ridiculous and not even funny at this point. It's just like, oh gosh, painful. Now, as they go along, the counselor who gets fired is hired for ICE, and then Kristi Noem directs him around, and she just shoots dogs the entire time because that's what they've been saying. You know, she's a dog killer. It's just like it's the lowest bar of jokes they could have possibly gone with, and a lot of recycled jokes throughout this entire deal. Like a lot of the jokes are not new whatsoever. They're just stolen or recycled themselves over and over and over again. Like the whole President Trump thing where he's the Saddam Hussein with Satan. It's the exact same thing. They just replaced it with Trump. It's like they didn't even try. And it like I'm confused again. It's like, are these guys phoning it in because they already got their nut, and then they're like kind of telling you that as the episode is, all these people are just doing this stuff in order to get a little money and grift off the system? Are they kind of telling on themselves with this? And then they are just phoning them in at this juncture because like those jokes have already been done before. They had the finance guy go in there with the and it's gone, and they brought him into this again. They recycled some of Clyde's old jokes with respect my authority in there as well. Just a lot of recycled jokes over and over and over and over again. And then they just had Cartman repeating, I'm a master debater. I'm a master debater. Like, this is something that 10-year-olds have said for, decades as they think they're being very, very funny and clever. And it's not, because everybody's said that for decades. It's not a new joke. It's not its own thing. They're not coming up with jokes at this juncture. It's just flat and boring, right? And then they actually did a part where ICE arrested Dora the Explorer, which, again, that's already a meme on the internet. Like, they just stole somebody's meme and then just threw it into the episode. And that meme's like, how many years old now? We're like 8 to 10 years old now. Like I said, recycled jokes, phoning it in. Nothing's very funny whatsoever. And it's just a very, very clear bias about what's going on. But this is all the left has. If you notice, like, their humor about this type of thing has always been exactly this. Donald Trump is dumb. Yeah, and he has a small pee-pee. Yeah. George Bush is dumb. Yeah. Ronald Reagan, he's dumb. They've been doing this for decades, and this is all they do over and over and over again, and it's why they stop being funny, because it is just not fresh. It's not interesting. It's not a unique take whatsoever. It's just everything else that's going out there. So JD Vance actually already replied to it because he was put into it, and sure enough, the joke is J.D. Vance is dumb, yeah, and which is ridiculous because the guy's a brilliant venture capitalist, one of the smartest guys out there in politics. It's absolutely crazy. Like Charlie Kirk, Charlie Kirk, when he found out he was in this episode, changed his profile picture to Cartman. J.D. Vance says, well, I've finally made it. And you could see, just like these guys are playing it right. They're saying, I'm going to lean into the joke. I have a sense of humor about this. Whatever. These guys are allowed to joke what they want. It's quite the opposite of the way that the left treats things, right? And it definitely highlights a disparity, again, of the leftist evil authoritarianism out there, and then the right who's just kind of chill about everything out there every single time, right? That's exactly what we got going. But they're not doing so well in the comments here. Grok, do South Park do any episodes despairing Joe Biden or Hunter Biden that isn't ironic, considering they say and they make fun of both sides, being they made fun of Trump consistently? South Park has no episodes directly disparaging Hunter Biden. Joe Biden appears minimally, deleted scenes, and a doodled photo with devil horns in 2021. Yes, ironic. They claim balanced satire, but mock Trump more consistently. And then, yes, Mage Leader here. Great YouTube channel if you don't follow him. Jesus Christ, are you doing another one? Isn't repetition the enemy of comedy? Everyone who's making fun of Trump for the past decade, think of a better joke. You're out of ideas. There was a president for the past 4 years who could barely speak. Lots of material there. I wouldn't actually do a Joe Biden episode at this juncture. I think that'd be a little late, right? And comedy's all about timing, right? I'm not sure the retarded leftists understand, but MAGA watches South Park and we laugh at it, right? And that's exactly what J.D. Vance and Charlie Kirk have proved all the way through this. Do the people actually watch South Park? Looks like less than 100K demo viewers watching a country of 340 million people. Too extreme. Even if it was against the left, South Park is better than this. Bring back the greatness. Been a long, long time this is coming. Yeah, they're not getting love in the comments about this, and I think that's why they did delay a week. I think they did look at the reactions, and they wanted to wait for the Skydance merger to close with Paramount, so they could just go back to doing this kind of thing, because there's it's just unchecked at this point. And I think Paramount just wanted this kind of content because they had to get their nut, right? All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Please hit the like and subscribe button, guys. And check out Fandom Pulse Substack if you like my views on culture. And we're fighting the culture war full on right here. It never ends, guys. The ride never ends. As much as everybody's been saying it lately, everything is, as bad or worse with the left as it's ever been. And we keep you informed right here without any advertising revenue. It's very important that we can tell the truth without being censored. Both me and John Trent, who run the site, have both been censored heavily at different outlets we've worked at over the years. If you guys don't know, I've worked at The Federalist. I've worked at Bounding Into Comics. So I've done my journalism research for a long, long time. And I got lots of stories about that. But we'll save it for another time. Thanks for being here, guys. Leave a comment down below. Did you watch the episode? We'll be back.